Alright. I think we should be live. Yep. Alright, we are good to go. Hold on, let me just stream ping right here. Hold on. Okay, let me... Chat, we got more leaks from the man himself, PvZ Tryhard, the one and only. Hold on, let me just ping everyone on Discord and then we'll be good to go. And I'll start the stream straight away. Alright, let's go. So, this are the balance changes allegedly leaked by PvZ Tryhard. These are the changes that they sent streamers like Tryhard and Fry 'em Up, and Sushi and Justini. I think those are the 4 people who received these balance changes in advance. Now I have my hands on this document right here. Obviously, no guarantee that any of these changes are gonna be coming, guys. These are just, balance changes that we saw from 2020, and we saw that a large majority of these changes were implemented into the game, so it's reasonable for us to say that there is a possibility that more changes are going to be coming that are going to be the ones from this document. Again, I'm not saying that all the changes are going to be coming, and the changes here are not identical to like the changes that were found in the server data, but I'm just saying these are the base reference for what the janitor was using to balance the PvZ Heroes game. So, 95% of the changes here are implemented inside of the 1.60.13 leak. So, 95% of the changes you've already seen. Now, the changes that we are interested in looking for are the card text changes, which I'm not exactly sure if the janitor knows how to code PvZ Heroes. So, they're probably not going to change the card text, but this is just a little bit of a insight of to what is getting changed right here. So first of all, obviously Galactic Cactus 1 cost 2-1, that was already a change that we already saw. So basically, a bunch of the text a bunch of the cards that only got stat changes, like they got one less health, one more or one less attack, one more, one less like sun or brain. Those were probably already implemented because it's pretty easy to just change numbers in your files, right? But some of the more complicated changes are like Gardening Gloves, which now conjures a trick instead of draws a card. Now that's a more complicated change because you actually have to change the card text itself, and you also have to change the card's ability to match that. Which, now, think about it, is this actually even a buff? I'm pretty sure this is actually a nerf, guys. I do not even think this is even a buff. I don't know what the hell this is for. Conjure a trick? Guys, is it better to conjure a trick or draw a card from your deck? 99% of the time, it's better to just draw a card from your deck because you put those cards in your deck and you want those cards. Like, what would this be useful for? This would be useful for Captain Cucumber. Like, the only situation where this is buffed is you have Captain Cucumber on the board and that trick is going to cost 1 less. But that trick can just be some garbage thing like water balloons or lawnmower. It could be complete garbage. So this even makes sense that this is not even a buff, guys. Not even a buff. This has already come kind of useless. Now it's even more useless. I don't know what that change is. But we're going to move on to Gravitree. Now, it's a 6 cost 7/7 armored 1. That was already the stats before. Now, it is untrickable. Now, what do I think about this having untrickable? First of all, the biggest change right here is that now this means that Valkster is not going to be able to do like Mustache and Falcon like Gravitree on turn 6 because they're not going to be remove the Gravitree with like Fruitcake, Plumber. And they're not going to be able to remove that with Rocket Science either. This is kind of like, an Apatatosaurus for like the Guardian class. I don't know how to say, but it's kind of like Apatato, but not really because it doesn't grow. But it also doesn't die to Trickster, so that's actually really useful. So it kind of counters Trickster now because your opponent is kind of forced to, front the Gravitree until it dies, and you pretty much are, pretty much your tricksters are going straight to the Gravitree and just trading it, right? So that's kind of like a counter to Trickster, kind of a counter to Valk, because you can't remove it, obviously. But honestly, I think it's not even going to be that good, because Mechasaurus is going to be an 8-8, which actually just one-shots the Gravitree. So, yeah, Mechasaurus is still going to be an 8-8, remember, guys. The 1.6 changes are still going to be here. So remember, Mechasaurus is now an 8-8, so I don't think this is actually even that good of a change, because Mechasaurus is going to one-shot it anyways and win the trade for free, if you teleport her in, of course. Now, next change, Marine Bean, okay, that was already in the 1.6, this was already recovered as well. Now, Prickly Pear, it's now a 5-cost 10 HP team-up. When hurt, do 2 damage to the zombie hero. Guys, they managed to make Prickly Pear a worse version of Mirrornut. So basically, they were like, Mirrornut is not that bad, guys. We're gonna make Prickly Pear the same card. They basically just made it the exact same card, but even worse because it doesn't work on your nuts. God damn it, bro. It's so bad. So bad, bro. No one's gonna use this card. No one. It's literally a worse version of Mirrornut. That's 1 more expensive, but it has like 2 more health. Like, what is that 2 HP gonna matter? Guys, it matters because of Mechasaurus. Guys, the only thing that this now survives is like Mechasaur. Or Zombot. Like, why would you use this over Mirrornut? I don't know. The reason why you would use this over Mirrornut is you're playing against Zombot, you're playing against Mechasaur. Those are the only 2 cards. Octo Zombie. It blocks Octo Zombie. I mean, the chances your opponent even playing Octo Zombie in the first place, well, actually, might be pretty high now, because Octo Zombie is actually getting a buff. And Zombot's also getting a buff, so, you know, Mechasaur also getting a buff, so, you know, be careful, because those cards might actually become relevant. But I still don't think it's gonna actually, but, like, what is the point of using Prickly Pear there, right? Like, honestly, just, like, if you actually want to remove it, just bring a Cob Cannon, bro. Bring Shamrock it, right? Alright. So, next on the list, Spikeweed getting nerfed, as we already knew. Tough Beets. Now, this is kind of an interesting, I don't know. So, obviously, they didn't change this in the card data leaks that came out like a week ago, but here it has a text change. So again, I'm not saying that these changes are all coming into PvZ Heroes, and this is definitely going to be happening, because this is just basically an insight of what they were doing in 2020, right? So they changed Tough Beets to now be a 5-cost 2/2 armored 1. When played, this gets +1/+1 for each other plant and zombie. So it used to be a 5-cost 6/1 armored 1, I believe. Is this a buff? Now, personally, I think this is not actually a buff. I think having a guaranteed 6 damage is kind of important for Tough Beets. But again, if you have like 4 things on the board, 2 zombies, 2 plants, is that even likely on turn 5? I mean, you could build a deck around it to to make use of it, you know, using garlics, using like walnuts, and then you could use this card. It's still not that good. I think it's still kind of trash. This is still kind of a trash card. I mean, the ceiling is going to be higher, but then like the floor is going to be lower, if you know what I mean. Like, the worst case scenario is going to be so much worse for this card, but the best case scenario is going to be like so much better. But like, even if you have the best case scenario, like, how many cards do you have on the board? Like, best case scenario, you have like 9 playing cards on the board, which is basically impossible to achieve. What is even going to happen? You get a bunch of stats. It doesn't really even do anything. It doesn't even win the game. It's like Pot of Powerhouse, right? It's just Pot of Powerhouse, but bad. It doesn't win the game. That's a problem. Like, cards with just a lot of stats, they don't win the game, because your opponent can just easily chump block it, right? I mean, you could use Coffee Grounds now with Grass Knuckles, but like, Grass Knuckles is such a bad hero for swarming. Especially Grass Knuckles is so bad now after all the changes to Triceratops, to Galactic Cactus, to Black Eyed Pea. Like, it's very hard to like hold a lot of plants to the board already as Grass Knuckles. Now, this is just kind of useless. Like, I don't even see, like, why would you even use Tough Beets outside of like Grass Knuckles? Like, you can't make it use a bonus attack. If you can't make it do a bonus attack, then like what's the point of getting all these stats? These stats are not going to win you the game. It's just like Pot of Powerhouse. It's just palace stats and it doesn't win you the game. The problem with like Pot of Powerhouse was never with like how much stats I'm gonna get. The problem was it's a big chunk of coal. It just doesn't win the game because it's just a bunch of stats and you don't have plant food. Oh, you lose the game. I mean, the only situation I can see it is happening is being useful. It's just like, you have time to shine as Grass Knuckles, and he plays at turn 6. He play this for like 10 damage, and you get the time to shine. For some reason, they don't have all lanes clogged. You know? kind of niche. I don't think it's going to be that good. Obviously, Triceratops got nerfed, as we know already. Nah, let's move on now. So, now, Atomic Bomb granted 5 cost 4-1, which is a nerf from the 5 cost 5-2. But now, when destroyed, it makes seedlings here and next door. So, we got 1 extra seedling. Now, is that worth the 1 extra, the 1 less HP? I don't think so, because now it dies the barrel. I don't like this change at all. Now Atomic Bomb granted just dies the barrel. It doesn't make sense. It dies the barrel, so like their seedlings are gonna die. I don't like this, man. I don't like this, man. I don't like this change at all, because now I would have preferred it if they just made us extra seedling and kept it at 2 HP. Like a 5 cost 4, like 5 cost free 2 that spawns free seedlings. That's fine. That's better than before. Now it's just worse. It dies the barrel. It dies the barrel and also dies the Nibble. Guys, Nibble is getting a massive buff, by the way. So you guys have to be careful. That 1 HP cards are going to be so bad after the balance changes. Not guaranteed coming, guys. Again, I'm not saying these are guaranteed to be coming, but I'm just saying the speculation. Like, Nibble's getting a buff as well. So, like, this is not even a buff in my opinion. It just dies to 1 damage. Nah, I don't like this. Or just make it spawn an extra seedling, right? Like, what's the point? Like, why not just do that, right? Like, that's not even that bad. Like, seedling is not even a good card, guys. Seedling's so bad. It just spawns 1 cost and 2 cost cards like 50% of the time. It's not even worth it. Man. Alright, here we go. Berry Blast is getting a nerf. Hallelujah, guys. No more Berry Blast to the face. I don't even know. They're nerfing Berry Blast, making it not go phase. I mean, fine, I guess. I'm still gonna run 4 Berry Blasts in my deck, right? Like, I'm still running 4 Berry Blasts because it's so versatile. I mean, not being able to go phase, like, I don't even know how much worse that's gonna make it. It's not even gonna be that much worse. Alright, now Blooming Heart got a nerf. We already knew that. Hot Lava, Invasive Species, Lava Guava. Now, Petalmorphosis. Now it's a transform a plant into a random plant and give it +1/+1. Now, is that 1/1 really gonna make a difference of how good that card is gonna be? Guys, since what, like that 1/1, that is such a minuscule buff to such a bad card? Like, why not just make this plant leap, man? Just make it 2 costs, transform this plant into a plant that costs 1 more. Like, why not just make it leap? Just make it a leap for the plant side. That'll be fine. +1/+1, really? It's not gonna do anything. What's that +1/+1 gonna mean? Oh, guys, we got a Juggernaut. Now it's a free. Oh no, we spent 4 sun transforming a 1 cost card into a free. Like, it's so bad. It's so bad. At least it's not gonna spawn 1/1s anymore. But like, man, it's not. It's still gonna be unusable, honestly. It's a slight buff, but still unusable. Now, Poison Oak is getting a buff. 6 cost 5/6, anti-hero 5. So, 1 more HP and 1 more attack. What is this going to mean? This is going to do 10 damage to face now. Now, what I think the 10 damage to face actually makes a difference in is that now you can put this in coffee grounds. It would do 20 damage, right? Previously, it would just only do 18 damage. How much better is that? Like, I don't think that 1 extra attack is going to make a huge difference, but that 1 extra health is massive. Guys, that 1 extra health means now it survives barrel mission. Usually, you just play a barrel, you play a final mission on it, it does 5 damage to whatever you want to target, right? Now it has 6 HP, so it doesn't die to that anymore. So now it survives barrel mission, which is actually kind of good. If it doesn't die to barrel mission, it still dies to fruitcake. And it still dies to rocket science. So I still don't think this is going to be that good. Like, honestly, it's still not that great of a card, right? It's just a pile of stats again, and it doesn't win the game unless it survives. And again, zombies have way too efficient removal, and you will see the removal is getting buffed, so I don't know what to say. It's not, I don't think it's gonna be good. So now, next one, Sizzle, is actually gonna be doing 4 damage to a zombie. Okay, which I guess it makes sense. Sizzle was a little bit broken when we tested the 1.6 of like Tryhard and Saman and like Mother Friend Assault, but yeah, Sizzle 5 damage or 4 damage, free cost. Would I still use it? Honestly, I wouldn't actually use Sizzle if it does 4 damage only, because the 5 damage is super important to kill Cowboy, Space-Time, Teleportation, Zombie. Those are the 3 main threats on the zombie side right now, with 5 HP, which are all very busted cards, like, other than maybe Space-Time, but Space-Time is pretty good as well. Teleportation, Zombie, undeniably the best card in the game, probably, after these changes. Like, we're gonna need the 5, I think keeping Sizzle as 5 damage That would pretty much balance out Cowboy Strength and Teleportation Zombie. I think they should keep Sizzle at 5 damage. Now, Transfiguration is now a new card. 2 cost free 2. At the end of the turn, this transforms into a random plant that costs 1 more. It keeps this ability. So this is like the exact same ability from Ohio mod. Like, what was that? Yeah, it was the same ability as Electrician in Ohio mod. Electrician has the exact same ability as this in Ohio mod. And that card is kind of busted. Is this good though? Because now it's a 2 free 2. It's gonna be so easy to remove on the first turn it's played. It's gonna be hard to keep it alive. That's my problem. This is like the biggest wild card change. I have no idea how good this card will be, but this is gonna be pretty exciting. If you maybe you could do some really random, you could do some really bullshit stuff with, like, I don't know, force field. I don't think it's gonna be that good anyways, because the free cost cards in this game are not even that good. I mean, 2 cost free 2, it's just gonna die to Plumber. It's just gonna die to Plumber, so you gotta die to Extinction Event. Super easy to remove, but you have a really good payback if your opponent doesn't have any removal. I mean, if your opponent has Pogo, it still dies instantly, but it's a 2 cost card, so it's worth it. I mean, this is a big wild card change. I have no idea what could actually happen if this was actually implemented. I would be pretty excited to play some Transfiguration decks to figure out if this change actually comes. But I think the Janitor is too, like, shit at coding that the Janitor probably doesn't know how to code this into the game. Probably has to consult purple green a little bit. You know what I mean? Ohio Electrician is Dino Roar. I guess so. So this is gonna be slower. I don't know. The Electrician in Ohio mod is kind of broken, but here, I don't know. Alright, let's go. Velociraptor Hunter is getting renamed, guys. This is the greatest change of all time. Zapricot, yep, we already knew that. Now we're going to move on to Mega Grow. Mega Grow, okay, Bamboozle Buff, we already knew that. Banana Peels is now a 2-cost card. Move a zombie, conjure a fruit. Wait, so it's getting nerfed. Wait, so they're nerfing Banana Peel. Guys, they nerfed Banana Peel. It's not even that good. And they nerfed it. What? Wait, this doesn't even make sense. Now, there's no more banana synergy, right? Wait, all bananas are now fruits instead. That's like a fry 'em up change. Guys, no, this is 100% like a fry 'em up change right here. Guys, it's 100% a fry 'em up change right there. Fry 'em up said the exact same thing on the Mega Grow tier list. Just make all bananas fruits. Guys, 100%. This was a change. This is 100% a change suggested by Fry 'em Up. Like, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Okay, Black Eyed Peas got the nerf. Cosmic got a nerf. Like, this is such a bad change. I don't even know what the hell they were thinking. Great Power now costs 4. What? What? This doesn't even make sense. There's no text change at all. This is literally... Wait, are they buffing... No, we already saw Guardian. They're not buffing Great Responsibility. It doesn't even make... This is such a bad change. This is a nerf, bro. What the fuck? Okay, half banana is now a 1 cost 2/1 when destroyed all fruits in your hand at 1/1. I mean, banana decks are really strong already in the current meta. Now they're getting even stronger with fruit synergy. I guess it's going to be a nerf for fruitcake because now you can get Brainana for fruitcake. I think that's a nerf debate. That explains why fruitcake didn't get nerfed because now you can get Brainana for fruitcake. That's insane. That's insane. Now you can get Brainana from fruitcake. That's the biggest change, actually. I don't even care that these are now buffing fruits. I just care that fruitcake can contribute Brainana. That's nuts. Like, your opponent has like fruitcake, and it's just like, oh yeah, thanks for Brainana, bro. Goodbye, man. Now, I think the biggest change here is actually fruitcake giving Brainana, not even the banana synergy, man. Anyways, the Great Power nerf, I don't even understand, man. The Great Power got nerfed for no reason. It was a really bad card. Somehow they made it even worse for some reason. But sure. Does this mean Banana will be used in Chompsil Heal for free pepper? Oh, right! Oh, that's so bad! What the hell? Pepper, MD, and Ketchup Mechanic are both fruits! So half Banana's gonna buff Pepper, MD, and Ketchup Mechanic! Oh no! Chompzilla fruit decks are gonna be so good if they actually make this change. Wait, this is not good, guys. Pepper MD and Pepper MD and wait, Astrocado is also a fruit. Astrocado is also a fruit. Wait! This is not fine. Wait. They're making Chomzilla broken now. Half banana buffs avocado, pepper, ketchup. Wait, that's... Guys, that is not good. Wait, no, reverse this change. Time out. Reverse this change right now. No. We can't have this happen. No. Heal fruits. Nah, I don't want to see this shit happening, man. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Alright, the next change. Pot of Powerhouse. Already saw that. Already explained why this still sucks. Super fat Beets. So this actually got buffed to a 4/4 without text change in the card data leaks. Here is a 6-cost 1/1 when played. This gets +2/+2 for each other planet zombie. Is this better or worse? I guess this has to be better, right? Like, this has to be better. There's no way this is not better. It's still trash, though, because it's just pile stats, doesn't do anything. Again, same problem with... This is just dry minion sickness right here. Alright, I don't think it's going to be good, even if with this card text change. Like, even if it... Like, as a 6-cost 4/4 that gives a 1/1, it's still trash. Right now, like, this change probably is still also trash. It's just more stats. What's more stats going to do? More stats isn't going to change the fact you're going to teleport something in and then block it, or rocket science it, right? Yeah, not good. Typical Beanstalk now changed. Text changed. Free, start a turn. If this is next to a leafy plant, this transforms to a magic Beanstalk. What? Wait. Start of turn. If this is next to a leafy plant, transform to a magic Beanstalk. Huh. So if this survives, you draw a card and you get 1/1 for one time. It's still a leafy card, so you can still evolve Savage Finish on top of it. I mean, right now it's a free cost, free. It conjures a leafy plant immediately. Now this is just more risky, but I like this I like this design right here. This design is very interesting because now this is high risk, high reward. High risk, high reward. I like that. I like this change. This has got my stamp of approval right here. This is a great change right here, actually. Now you get so many mind games like, oh, if I'm only gonna play typical Beanstalk, do I want to kill it? Do I not want to kill it? Do I just want to kill the leafy plant next to it? Or kill the card instead? Like, this is gonna be staying on a board as a free and threatening your opponent to transform into a magic Beanstalk every single turn. That you don't remove the leafy plants off the board, which is actually really good to like punish like slow players, right? Pretty cool. Doesn't get countered by extinction event anymore. So that's actually one of the bigger buffs, is that typical Beanstalk doesn't get countered by extinction event anymore. But yeah, Whipvine gets a buff when you do that. But now look at Smarty. So as you guys know, Bean Counter became a 1/1. Obviously, everyone was freaking out. I was like, oh no, they nerfed Bean Counter. Actually, it gets team up now. So is this even a buff, or is this actually a nerf? In my opinion, this is actually a nerf. I don't think this is going to be better for Bean Counter. I think that one less stat for team up, I don't think it's going to be worth it. It's going to be so much harder to trade with Bean Counter if it only has 1/1. Like, the first turn you can play this is on turn 4. Well, what happens next turn? You play like 5 beans, it becomes a 6/6. It's not even that good. Like, it's not even that good if you have a 4. Like, imagine it's a 4-cost card that transforms to a 4-cost 1/1 that transforms to a 6/6 next turn. That's not even a good card. That's still trash. It's still F tier. 6/6 is not even good stats for 4-cost. Like, it's not even that good of a stats. If you have to wait until next turn to get it, it's not even good. It's actually a nerf. Like imagine best case scenario, play 5 beans on turn 5. Nah. This is not it, man. This is not it. It's still Weenie Beanies. Yeah, it's still Weenie Beanies. You still get Weenie Beanies. You don't get Lima Pleurodons. So yeah, pretty big nerf, actually, in my opinion. I don't think it's gonna be that much better. They should have just kept that at 2/2. I mean, even if they kept that at 2/2, I probably still wouldn't play this card. They probably should have made it like a 2/3, so it could easily survive Flumber. At least it doesn't die to 1-cost cards. And it dies to fucking Nibble as well now, like... And I know Nibble's getting buffed, so... Yeah, not a good change, guys. Not a good change. So next one, Carrotillery, already new. Go Nuts is getting buffed from a 2/2 to a 2/3. So, this change was not seen in the card data leaks. Obviously, everything's still work in progress on a pop game and of things. So we don't necessarily know if these changes are even happening, but we know that most of the changes actually came to the game, so we can actually say that, oh, this is pretty spot on, and we can trust that these changes will also happen. So I'm expecting that Go Nuts is actually going to get buffed to a 2-free, which honestly, this change might be monumental. Because now it doesn't die to Plumber, it doesn't die to Extinction Event. Now it can trade with 1-cost cards, right? Like, your opponent can play like a Grave Robber, and you can friend it with Go Nuts. Like, the fact that you can trade cards with Go Nuts is massive. This is massive. You can play this in so many more lanes. Guys, remember how restrictive Go Nuts is. When you play Go Nuts, you have to say, like, oh, you have to make sure it's safe. Now you can just friend a 1-cost card, it's just fine, right? Now you can just play against a 1-cost card, it's gonna be fine. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a lot stronger, and I think Go Nut decks might actually be legit with a lot of more team up cards now. So yeah. Now Lightning Reed gets a buff we already knew. Mayflower gets a buff. We playtested the Mayflower buff. It's still completely useless. Don't use Mayflower, guys. Mayflower is still one of the worst cards in the game after the buff. I mean, you just don't remove the card and it conjures complete garbage. It conjures, oh no, conjure the Squash, guys. Opponent's gonna play a 5-cost Squash. That's gonna be useful in 1% of all games when it's conjured. You know what I mean? Alright, Melon Poke gets a buff, we need that. Navy Bean gets a buff, we already playtested that. Navy Bean is one of the stronger cards that actually got buffed, because now it's a 4-4, which means it can trade with so many 4-cost zombies, and it also survives Cowboy and a lot of other things. So yeah, this is one of the biggest changes right here for the Amphibious traits. Now, Snapdragon is becoming Amphibious. I don't even know how useful this is. Like, like, obviously you're never playing this in the water. Like, obviously this never goes into the fucking water, because, like, why would you play this in the water, right? Like, the only change that this gives is that now Bog gives it 2 attack. Like, Bog gives it 2 attack, and Navy Bean gives it 1/1. And Marine Bean counts as an Amphibious. Would that push me over the edge to run Snapdragon? I don't think so. I'm still gonna run Shrinking Violet, honestly. I'm still gonna run Shrinking Violet, because this is so easily removed. Opponent plays a final mission, boom, your Snapdragon is dead. Opponent plays a Fruitcake, boom, your Snapdragon is dead again. Like, it's a 4-cost card that just doesn't do anything on the board. Like, again, dry minion sickness once again. You're just a pile of stats, you don't have any effects on the board or the state of the game. You're kind of trash because zombie removal is so efficient, right? Like zombie removal is so efficient. I don't think Snapdragon is going to be good, guys. Like, it is not going to convince me to play it just because Marine Bean gets 1 more. Ball gives it 2 attack. Like, honestly, I don't see this being used still. Now, So Magic Beans is a 2-cost shuffle 5 Beanstalks in your deck instead of 4 Beanstalks. Guys, this is still one of the worst cards in the game. This is still one of the worst cards in the game. Just compared to some fucking Lima Pleurodon. Why would you use So Magic Beans? Why would you use So Magic Beans? It's so bad. No, they should have made it like shuffle like... They should have just added the card drawback. Make it like shuffle 3 Beanstalks and it draws a card. That would be so much better. I don't need 1 more Magic Beanstalk in my deck. That's not going to change like things like 75% of the time it doesn't do anything already. Like, it's still not going to do anything. God damn it, man. Alright, and... Wait, I didn't even read Laser Cattail. Laser Cattail is a 2-cost 2/1. Start of turn, there's another plant here, do 2 damage to plant hero. I mean, zombie hero. So it's Admiral Navy Bean, but every start of turn. I think the current buff is better. Again, I think the janitor doesn't know how to code, so they're just making stat changes instead of like card text changes. Card text changes is a little bit too complicated for the janitor to code in, right? So they're just gonna be doing like stat changes. I think buffing Laser Cattail to a 2/2 makes more sense right here. So yeah. Now again, Winter Melon getting a buff. 6-cost 4/5 splash damage 4 when played freeze a zombie. So now it's Cryo Yeti on the plant side. Is this good? So again, first of all, this is a plant card. So when you freeze a zombie, that's inherently like an Iceberg Lettuce, which is going to be much more useful. It helps you win the trade. It helps you control the water lane if you need to. Is this gonna make a difference in freeze decks though? Like I don't see this being used in freeze decks. This is too slow, man. Like Winter Melon is kind of too slow. I don't think it's worth it. It's too slow. You freeze a zombie. Maybe it's actually good because like you can because you can react to something. You know, this might actually be good though. I think this actually might be good. Reason being why Winter Melon is not that good usually when you play Winter Squash. Your Winter Squash is usually already dead. Right? By the time the Winter Melon hits, your opponent probably fruitcaked their Winter Squash if Rolling Stone did. Or Wheat Spray did, or Flick did. right? But now, this is guaranteed an extra iceberg lettuce for your winter melon. This is basically a guaranteed card that you can get rid of on the board instantly, get a big card on the board as well. I think this is actually going to be decent. It's not going to be bad anymore. It's going to be at least decent right here. I think Winter Melon, this is gonna be a sort of decent card right here. If you want to see that the full text, it's the exact same except for Freeze Zombie when played. Now Solar Cop gets a nerf. We already knew that. Elderberry getting a nerf. Haunted Pumpkin getting a nerf. Laser Beam becoming a 6-cost 0/6 strike through. When played, this gets 1 attack for each sun you made this turn. Now I see some people in chat saying that, oh no, this is just a better version of Magnifying Grass. Honestly, I don't think so. This is not a better version of Magnifying Grass, because Magnifying Grass, it's cheap. You can just play the card, play Plant Food. So it's like turn 7, Magnifying Grass, Plant Food, that's 8 damage to face. That's decent. Right, that's decent. Laser Beam, now it's just an alternative to like Astrocado. It's a big card, alternative to Astrocado. Like, it's at least a 6/6 strike through, which is really good stats. You know, but easy to remove because it's a plant card. It's like, again, zombie removal is really strong. So like if they're not gonna nerf Rocket Science or Fruitcake or like a bunch of other things, it's still not gonna be good. But it's gonna be more useful in aggro decks, I guess, because it's gonna have 1 more attack guaranteed, right? So yeah. 6/6 strike through. That's literally Plank Walker stats, but you don't get extra pirate zombies. It's not worth it, man. The 6/6 and turn 6. It's gonna be good for budget players, I guess, but still super rare. Nah, I don't think so, man. I don't think it's gonna be that good. I don't think it's gonna be that good. Now, Magnifying Grass is becoming a 2-cost card instead of a 3-cost card. Now, obviously, it's different from the change from like the Janitor. Again, the Janitor made a different change. It became a 3-cost, like 2 health instead of a 2-cost card. I guess the Janitor thought that it would be too OP at 2 cost, which I don't think so. I don't think it would be too OP at 2 cost. I think it would be actually a really good buff if it was a 2 cost. But I thought of a better change to Magnifying Grass after, you know, watching, you know, Flower Man's balance change leaks from last week. I think a better way to balance Magnifying Grass, make it a 0-cost 0/1. And then the text changes to end of turn. If you have any leftover sun, for every leftover sun at the end of turn, gain 1 attack. Basically, we just copy Sunspot from Marvel Snap. Honestly, I think that would make the most sense. Like, in context of the card itself, I mean, the plan itself from PvZ 2, that's what it did. You spent sun on it, and it gained attack. And honestly, that would be such a better change. Just make it, you know, a 0-cost card with 0 attack and 1 HP, and it gains attack every single time you passive sun. And honestly, I think that'll be a great change. Sunspot is a pretty viable card in Marvel Snap. That'll be fine. Now Water Balloons is actually getting a nerf. Not a nerf, I mean a buff. A non-amphibious zombie gets -2/-2. If you made 6 sun this turn, it gets -3/-3 instead. So, personally, I don't know how to think about a Water Balloons buff. -2/-2, that's gonna be like Weed Whack. I mean, it's definitely not useless anymore. -2/-2, that's just Extinction Event for the plant side. It's actually pretty good. It's probably not overpowered, because like, look at Pepper MD. Pepper MD is so fucking busted. This card is probably just gonna be like a side thing. What do you even replace Inhuman Rose for like water balloons now? I don't think I replace anything in Inhuman Rose for water balloons. At least I wouldn't. You know, maybe you can replace Elderberry now because he's getting nerfed. I still don't see it being ran very often. I mean, you probably run it with like Aggro Solar for there, but that deck is long gone. And Vine Clone decks are also long gone because there's no more Puff Shroom. But Sunstrike is now a new card. Cross-Pollination. A 3-cost flower fruit trick. Conjure a flower, conjure a fruit. They both cost 1 less. So basically, some sort of like bullshit RNG's card right here, man. Conjure a flower, conjure a fruit, and they both cost 1 less. Really? Like, wow, I don't see myself using this. I don't even use Flourish. Conjure cards that cost 1 less. I mean, fruits are pretty good cards. You can get Brainy from it. You can get Poppin' Poppies. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I don't know the Sunstrike buffer here, man. I mean, conjure a fruit and conjure a flower, and it could cost 1 less. How good is that even going to be? It's going to depend on how good we think fruits and flowers are going to be, right? Like, I don't know. The funny thing is that you can conjure Pepper Buddy from this, right? The funny thing is you can conjure Pepper Buddy from this. Yeah, because Buddy is a flower and Pepper is a fruit. So like, technically speaking, you can just so it's a free cost conjure a Pepper Empty and Little Buddy into your hand. So that's possible. But you can also get Brainy. Maybe this is good with Humid Rose. And you replace like Elderberry. Again, that's the first card that comes to mind that we can replace right now in Humid Rose. I don't even know, man. This is such a weird card. Maybe this is like Triceratops on turn 2, Cross-Pollination on turn 3. Some kind of bullshit like that. Maybe that's possible. I don't know. I have no idea. Okay, now let's look at plant superpowers. So Enzyme Uproot, that is Tractor. Now it's a 1 cost 2/1 Amphibious. When played, move another plant or zombies. Now it's an Amphibious, but it lost 1 HP. So Amphibious synergy with Beta Carotene, but you could also put this in the water now, which means you can actually not lose the game very often. Because I've lost a couple of games of having like a zombie in the water and having to move something else. Now this is actually going to be useful because it blocks the water lane. I don't even know how relevant is this Amphibious going to even be. The 1 HP is probably going to matter more times than Amphibious is going to be if you're running anything but an Amphibious deck, right? Like, if you're running anything but an Amphibious deck, that 1 HP is basically a nerf. Because it dies the barrel. That's the Nibble now. I don't think it makes sense. I think they should have just kept it the same. Shouldn't have touched it. Now, Beta Sig is getting a buff. Beta Sig is now Conjure 2 Sun Plant, and it gets +2/+1 Amphibious and Team Up. Guys, they made Beta Sig give 1 more attack. Wow. Greatest change of all time, guys. Why? This superpower is still probably the worst plant superpower in the entire game. Probably still the worst power in the entire game, bruh. I don't like it. It's still a bad card. They should have just made it so that it doesn't have the 1/1 buff and it just puts the plant on the board right away. Alright, anyways, next up we have More Spore. More Spore now says make a 1/1 button mushroom, then make another in the random lane. So now you gotta choose in at least 1 lane for where your button mushrooms go. I mean, that's a quality of life change, which very welcome indeed. So I'll take that. Now Nightcap added a space in the middle of the match out of PvZ games. Guys, greatest change of all time once again. Power Pummel Grass Knuckles now says attack each zombie on the ground for 2 damage. So it doesn't go face anymore. Can't go face anymore with Grass Knuckles' sake. They already made Grass Knuckles the worst hero in the game, and now they made it even worse. Please revert this nerf. Now Sunburn now does 2 damage, you get +2 sun. This sun bonus lasts only for the current turn, was +1 sun for the rest of the game. So instead of a Cryo Brain, now you just get +2 sun for this turn. So it's a ramp card. I mean, this card is so much worse when you block now. If you block and you get the superpower, it's so bad because you can't get the value straight away, right? Like this is objectively worse when you block, guys. Because if you play the Sunburn on a turn after, then you're only getting 1 sun because you have to spend 1 to gain 2. So you're getting net 1, right? Net 1 from that turn. But if it was the previous change, I mean the previous version of Solar Flare, it will be +1 for the rest of the game. So if you played it in the attack phase, you would get that 1 sun immediately, and you don't even need to play this card. Like this is objectively a nerf right here. This is objectively a nerf. I don't see the situation where having that 1 sun earlier is gonna really make or break the difference. Like having the cop hit in immediately, I don't get it, man. This shouldn't have nerfed Solar Flare, man. Shouldn't have nerfed Solar Flare this hard. Now Whirlwind is bounce the zombie with the lowest strength. Now, honestly, I don't even know if this is a good buff or not. Honestly, I think this is going to be one of the worst superpowers in the game, but at least they're going to give a little bit of consistency right there, right? I'll take the consistency change over the randomness right now. So that's it for all the plants. It took us fucking 40 minutes to even go over all the plants. Now we have to go over fucking zombies. Beastly, Alien News is now a free cost trick that gets it's now -3/-3. So the biggest change is now that this is probably runnable alongside Extinction Event. -3/-3 is absolutely massive. This counters free cost cards like Cool Bean. Cool Bean gets instantly removed. Typical Beanstalk gets instantly removed. You don't even have to play on heights. It gets instantly removed. It's an insane change. -3/-3? Like, could this be better than Fruitcake now? This could literally be better than Fruitcake, because -3/-3 is massive. Like, you kill B-Rex with that. B-Rex this kills B-Rex. This is actually gonna be massive. I hate the fact they're buffing removal so much. Like, removal should not even be that good in the game already, and they're just making removal even stronger, man. Come on, man. Oh, man. Alright, and B-Flat now costs us 3 instead of 4. Obviously, the janitor didn't have enough time to code that in the original patch, but I imagine this is probably going to be coming as well, because all the other changes are actually coming as well. So, yeah, we're going to expect, like, a free cost piano. Is that going to be good? Honestly, I think piano at free cost is still going to be completely useless. If it's still just a random plant, I'm not going to use it. Now, Deep Sea Garg is a 6 cost 6/6. Amphibious Hunt. When any zombie enters any lane, that zombie gets +1/+1. So basically, this is making hunting grounds on every single lane right here. Right? Basically, this is a global hunting grounds right here. I don't even think that's gonna be good, because, like, honestly, like, why do you need that 1/1 on turn 6? This is way too late. You should have made it like a 5 cost 5/5 with the same ability. If this was like a 5 cost 5/5, I would definitely use it, right? It's not too late, because on turn 5 you're still controlling your opponent. On turn 6, like, your opponent's just gonna play a fucking Cob Cannon, you lose the game instantly, right? Like, like, your opponent plays a Cob Cannon, your Deep Sea Guard gets eliminated instantly. I think they should have made it a 5 cost card. If they made it a 5 cost card, it would compete with Supernova Guard, because this would have had Amphibious, right? So yeah, I don't like this change. But the other change, Interstellar Bounty Hunter, is getting a buff. When a zombie with Hunt destroys a plant, draw a card. What? Like, Bounty Hunter is already one of the best Beastly cards. It's an A tier card. It's just under Cheese Cutter, Area 22, and Cyborg. And then and then the next card is like Bounty Hunter. It's a really good card already, and they're making it better? Like, they're buffing Cyborg and Bounty Hunter. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Bounty Hunter getting a buff is stupid. Like, why would you even do that? Like, just, like, why not make this the ability of, like, I don't know, some other hunt card? What other hunt cards are there? Like, Deep Sea Guard? Nah. Bounty Hunter buff is insane. I don't even understand. Why are they buffing one of the best Beastly cards already? Alright, next one, Kangaroo Rider, obviously. Guys, we have to thank Tryhard in chat right now. Guys, remember to thank Tryhard for this change. Tryhard was the one who made Kangaroo a 4/4 instead of a 4/3. Oh, thank you, PvZ Tryhard, for making Kangaroo Rider a 4 cost 4/4 instead of a 4 cost 4/3, and it's still completely useless. Thanks, Tryhard. Very cool. So now we have King of the Grill, 6 cost 6/6 when a Gargantuar destroys a plant conjurer Gargantuar. Is this even a buff? I'm pretty sure this is not even a buff, guys. I'm pretty sure this is actually a nerf. I'm pretty sure this is actually a nerf. I'm pretty sure this is actually a nerf. Conjuring Gargantuars is so bad. Gargantuars as like a tribe are like one of the worst tribes in the entire game. They're just dry minions that do nothing. Like, and the Gourmet class is one of the best tribes in the game. I'm pretty sure this is actually a nerf. Even though every Gargantuar now conjures, I'm pretty sure this is actually a nerf. Nah, this is definitely a nerf. It used to conjure a Gourmet card. That doesn't even make sense. Doesn't even make sense. It's definitely a nerf. Definitely a nerf. Conjuring, like, why are you conjuring Gargantuars? You can't play all the Gargantuars anyways. Gourmet cards are so much better because they're cheap cards that buff your cards, right? You know, Healthy Treat. You have Leftovers. Those cards are good. You conjure fucking Zombot. What are you gonna do for it for the next 3 turns until get a turn 9? Alright. I'm done rambling. Now, the biggest buff in the entire patch, honestly, in my opinion, is Nibble. Nibble is now, if this destroys that plant, conjure a gourmet card. Guys, I think this might be the best card in the game after the changes. This is insane. You conjure a card now from Nibble? What? Instead of healing for 2, you conjure a card. That's insane. Do you know how much that changes? Instead of healing for 2, now you conjure a card? Like, you know how much that changes? That 1 extra card you're gonna get is gonna be so much value. It's gonna be so much value for you. Instead of healing for 2, like, having a 1 extra card is always gonna be better than healing for 2. Like, especially because you can play this with Space Time. If you play this with Space Time, you're gonna get like you're just getting a free cheese card draw, which is literally instantly game winning in so many situations. Like, Nibble is literally like auto run 4x in every single deck now. Literally 4x Nibbles in every single Beastly deck now, no questions asked, right? You literally just conjure a card. This is literally better than Plumber. Literally better than Bungee Plumber. Guys. Literally better than Bungee Plumber. You draw a card. What? This is so broken, bro. Nah. Okay. Now Nurse is Nurse is Gark's energy. I like this change. I don't know how much this is get affected, but I think it's still gonna be pretty trash, honestly. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be trash. Your opponent's gonna have 1 cop get it, buy Nurse Gark in it, and most of the time you don't even survive until turn 7 to play Nurse Gargantuar. But that may change because Triceratops is getting nerfed and everything fast is getting nerfed. But that just means more control is getting played. If there's more control, that just means that more, more Shamrockets are going to be in the meta. And more Doomstorms are going to be in the meta. So, like, because they're nerfing aggro, that's actually going to be nerfing Gargantuar. Because more Shamrockets are going to be played now. So, I don't even think this is not even going to be changing that much. Because your Gark's energy is probably still going to be completely useless. Unless they give, like, unless they made like smashing Gark instead of giving every Gargantuar frenzy, making every Gargantuar untrickable. Now, if that actually happened, that would actually make Gargantuars viable, but it's still completely useless right now. If there was a card that just gave all Gargantuars untrickable, then Gark's energy would finally be viable. But honestly, before that happens, I don't see Gark's energy being good. So now next change we have Octo Zombie. 8 cost 8/8 Amphibious Frenzy. When played, make a free Octo pet with Amphibious and Frenzy. So now, when you got Octo Zombie, you get an extra minion which has Frenzy and Amphibious, which is a free. Is that gonna be good, guys? That I honestly think that Octo Zombie is still gonna be completely useless, guys. Guys, I think this is still completely useless. Like, you're still not gonna do anything with the extra free, guys. I'm sorry. Yep. Not a good change. This is not good enough. There's no way this is even close to being on par with Plankwalkers, though. Like, the Plankwalker spawns fucking Gondola or Gark from Gark, and this is wanting a free. Man, so bad, dude. So bad. Nah. Bro, just compare this to Plankwalker. Plankwalker literally spawns Gondola, Gargantuar, Gark throwing Garg, like Shield Crusher Viking, Bounty Hunter, like some of the most like high stat cards in the game. And this card is spawning fucking free. If Octo Zombie was, when played, spawn an Octopussy in every single lane, now maybe that would be really good. Now that might actually compete with Plankwalker. That would actually compete with Plankwalker if it made an Octopussy in every single lane right there. That would be nice. I don't think they're gonna do it though. They're too pussies to do that. So yeah, next up on the list we have Queso is getting buffed. Wait, Queso is getting Hunt? When this destroys a plant and survives, heals to full and heals a hero for 2. So Queso now hunts and heals a hero for 2. Is that better than Bounty Hunter? Is this even better than Bounty Hunter? I mean, drawing a card is almost always certainly better than healing a hero for 2. Because your cards are so important in PvZ heroes. Because card draw is so inefficient. Like, the most efficient card draw is literally Fundead Razor, which is a free cost card. And it draws only like one extra card. Like, drawing a card is so good in PvZ heroes. Because drawing a card in PvZ heroes is so good. Like, this is not even gonna compete with fucking Bounty Hunter. Especially because Bounty Hunter is getting a fucking buff. And in its Frenzy as well. This is not even gonna compete with Bounty Hunter. Queso is still probably gonna be completely useless. It's just another buff to Cheese Cutter, honestly, if you're being real here. Like, this is not even comparable to Bounty Hunter in its current state. So, yeah. Yeah, Queso buff, not that good. Vengeful Cyborg getting a buff. I don't understand this change still. I still don't understand why they buffed Cyborg. Literally the best beastly card other than Cheese Cutter, they buffed it. Yep. Greatest change of all time, guys. Okay, Yeti Lunchbox finally getting a buff. That's a good change to Zombie Yeti as well. It's now a 1... If it's a pet, it gets 2-1 instead. How much is that going to change? It's going to give your cat lady 1 extra attack. Guys, 1 extra attack on your cat lady. The difference is that's going to make is literally if cat lady is going face. Like, it's going to make OTK cat lady easier to use. It's still going to be completely useless in every other deck, though. Like, in any other scenario, this is still completely useless. So, yeah. Yeah, this is just going to make, like, OTK cat lady, like, 5% better. Which, in itself, OTK cat lady is not even that good of a deck. Compared to fucking Megazord Control. Like, Megazord Control is gonna be so much better than this, right? So yeah. Nope. I don't think this is gonna be good, guys. Zombot is now a gravestone. Guys, they made Zombot a gravestone. Hallelujah. Prime Up's wish came true. When revealed, destroy all plants here next door. Guys, Prime Up's wish finally came true. Zombot is now Gravestone, but then your opponent can just play Blockbuster or Gravebuster. It doesn't even matter anymore, man. Doesn't even matter. Your opponent gets and it only kills plants in here or next door. Like, it's not even that good, guys. It's not even that good, honestly. It's not even that good. You can't even teleport it in anymore. Honestly, this might actually be a nerf because you can't teleport Zombot anymore with Morticia. And it's just gonna die to fucking Blockbuster or Cool Bean. Imagine your opponent plays Zombot in turn 9 and just like fucking Cool Bean Brainana. What's that Zombot gonna do now? What's that Zombot gonna do? Absolutely nothing, man. It's not even that good. Leap nerf. Yeah, it's a nerf to leap as well. Nerf to leap, guys. Nerf to leap. Alright, guys. Now, Zookeeper buff, we already saw that. Now, Cell Phone Zombie. Oh, this is the last change right here. Oh, wait. I need to move this up because, hold on. Yep, there you go. Move this up because that's the end of the document. Okay, there you go. Brainy class. These are the last changes right here. Cell Phone Zombie is now 1 cost 1/1. When played, Conjure Zombie. Guys, I'm pretty sure they made Cell Phone Zombie even worse. It used to be a 2 cost 1/1 draw card. Now Conjure's a zombie. Maybe that's useful with like HG because you play space time bullshit and you get Cell Phone Zombie. Maybe it could be useful with HG. I don't think it's gonna be that useful anyways. It's still 1/1. I mean, if it's a 1/1, it's not gonna be good. Could be good for Blob. I don't know. It's definitely gonna be better with HG, worse than every other hero, right? It's definitely worse with every other hero, but better with HG. So yeah. Oh yeah, you can get Zombot from Tomb Raiser now, guys. That's the buff. That's the actual Tomb Raiser buff, guys. That's the actual Tomb Raiser buff right there. Not the 4 cost 5 free, but the fact you can now make Zombot. All right, Duck Stash. Middle Manager is also a good card, dude. Middle Manager literally grows every single time a zombie gets hurt. That's why it's a good card. And it also has 2 HP. What are you talking about, bro? Middle Manager literally has professional synergy. It gets 1 attack every single time a zombie is hurt. That's good. This doesn't have any abilities other than conjuring you the card. Like, this has to be a little. I think this should be a 2/2. Like, honestly, this should be a 2/1 or 2/2. 2/1 would be fine. Make it just a 2/1. That would be fine. It would be fine. It wouldn't even be better than Zombie Middle Manager, man. Like, this, even if they made this like a 2/1, it still wouldn't be better than Middle Manager. So yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe this is good because now you can evolve. You can evolve Fossil Head on it on turn 2 with what? With Rust Bolt. Maybe that's the reason why it would be good, because you could do Cell Phone Zombie on turn 1, or Middle Manager on turn 1 into Fossil Head on turn 2. Maybe that's the real buff. Is that this is a good fodder for Fossil Head with Rust Bolt. Is that gonna make professional decks with Rust Bolt viable? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Alright, Duck Stash. Now free cost free 2. When this does damage, conjure Mustache. Mustache Evolution. Wait, oh wait, we have more changes. Wait, what? Okay. Mustache Evolution. This gets free. Huh. Free instead of 2/2. For Duck Stash. Man, is Duck Stash really gonna be still useful? Like, I'm thinking like Trick Stash. Why would you not use Duck Stash in the first place? It just doesn't do a whole lot, because Conjuring Mustache just is not good. I don't know. Evolution, it gets 2/2. It becomes a free. Now it's 6/5 stats instead of 5/4. Maybe that's good on turn 3. Still, that's a Shamrocket. Still, that's a Shamrocket, guys. I don't think it's gonna be that good. Alright, Electrician got buffs, we're new. Gadget Science is getting buffed really new. Gadget Science is actually good now, which is monumental. But Gargmime is now untrickable. Guys, Gargantuar Mime is now untrickable. Could that change anything? I don't think so. It's too hard to pull off a Gargmime combo in the first place. It's too much set up. Gargmime is too hard to set up, and like if you set up like the massive like science board of Gargmime and play Gadget next turn, like how it's so hard to keep like everything alive. It's so hard to keep it's so hard to play Gargmime turn 5 and not get punished for it. It's also so hard to like play science cards and have them live until turn 4. Like you have to play like all the science cards before turn 5, so you have to have like really strong science cards on the board on turn 4, and then like play Gadget Scientist the next turn. I don't know, man. I still don't think the Gargmime is gonna be that good. Gentleman is now buffed. Yup, Mad Chemist is now, when you play a first trick each turn, conjure a trick, it costs 1 less. So now you get discounts for your tricks as well. Oh, whoops. Is that good? Maybe. Maybe it could be useful now. Tricks costing 1 less is massive, guys, by the way. Things costing 1 less for a trick? Like, and it has decent stats already? This might actually be viable. I think Mad Chemist might be a little bit viable after these changes. Yeah, I think it would actually be viable here. Gargamime, Area 22, it doesn't even make sense. Why would you be able to play Area 22?